gamers. Okay, what do I want? I honestly don't really know what I want to do with the Thallus. I put an Omniforma here. I only have a couple of those left, so I'm gonna be a bit stingy with them. Still not sure if I desire to.
That's all from me.
Yeah. I saw. It's me. I'm the heavy unit.
Capture target information that we will need to extract. We need our subject brought back alive. Keep going. Nobody knows you're here. You found a target. Capture them quickly before they escape.
I need to get Canela Sprouts, so I'll probably be going to be farming Duviri later.
Success. The captive is safely in our hands. Congratulations, Tenno.
I also have some more night waves that I'm wanting to catch up on. Good morrow to you, Booble. How do you fare this fine Friday? It's the day. I get myself another cup of coffee. Same old. There you go. Yoink!
Great work. I am pleased with your performance.
I'm one follower away from being 3/4 the way to 1,000. Pretty neat. Da 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 da.
Somebody vital to enemy operations is here. Find them and capture them. Watch out. I'm detected.
Fix the glitch
Do you have a magic
that you guys saw last night. What glitch?
We're near a fissure. Collect reactant to open the relic. Be aware. Only corrupted enemies will drop it. Don't forget the reactant. You need more to open that relic. You're still in the clear. No detection from enemy sensors. You found the target. Capture them quickly before they escape. Mission complete. The captain
Mission
has been escorted
completion.
to the extraction point. Well done.
I should actually look at what this weapon does.
Stay focused.
I saw something about making crystals. Of course it is an incarnate weapon.
Well done, Tenno. Your relic is opened.
Which I'm always down for, and is one of the new heavy scythe types. Now when do we get a incarnate ghoul saw? That's what I'm wondering. Portal to a new world with pilgrim people. Most were invisibles besides the head and weapons. Okay then. It's Barrow-Katir weekend.
Another job well executed. Enemies are dropping reactants. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Found the target. Capture them quickly before they escape. The reactant is working on your relic. Find more. The capture target has vital information that we will need to extract. We need their subject brought back alive. Looks like heavy activity ahead. Mission complete. The captain has been
Mission
escorted to the
completion.
extraction point. Well done. Well done, Tenno.
Piece of dope. I think I'm gonna get a pot of coffee going. And buy a pot, I mean a cup. But I'm going to get my gooseneck kettle heating up. Just gotta wait for them to arrive sometime this year.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Just in one of them coffee moods, you know? So going to see. In about 2 hours we'll have another format. But what weapon shall we form next? Because the Sphinx is almost done. I only have one more forma into it after its current thing. Alright, let's take a look at what we got. We've got all the codas done. We've got all the Kuva guns done. We have Detron and Diplos that we can do for sidearms. And for main guns, we've got the Sobek, Galaxian, and Tetra. So like 5 different ones left. And we have maxed out both of my arc guns, yeah. Alright. Move it up there. Oh. Let's see. Crit. Prime duels. What's the highest I can go? And how much do I need to get this one more higher? Like 10k. Let's do something super engaging. We're gonna sell garbage. Man, that really ain't much. There we go, that's the numbers we like to see. I need to go check out the coffee water. It's getting there. Let's look for more big numbers under us. Alright, let's go check again. Alright, it's steepened. So let's deal with these combustion beans. This is what we like to see. Big numbers, especially triple digits. And going through all of these will also help. Well, not help. It will spend enough time so that my coffee will be ready by the time we're done dealing with all this. we've got more hundos. Yeah, that'll do it. Bam! Yeah, there's another two other than arc gun mods. What do we desire? Baby, just let me light a fire. Contamination casing. Charge bullets. Let's get us some corrosive going. And what about crit? Chance and critical damage. Oh. Well. 11. Not enough. Need 2 more. I don't want to put anything too huge into Mandanel because when Corvex gets a prime, Mandanel Prime will be a thing. Because it's his weapon. Well, where is that contamination casing? I'll take the toxin. Stripping.
Near-eye capture mission. You must find, capture, and extract our target. Watch out. I'm detecting.
And coffee will be ready after this match.
Keep going. Nobody knows you're here.
Nobody knows you're here. As the giant fat meatballs vor and everyone that's... Wait.
Found the target. Capture them quickly before they escape. Collect reactant to open the relic. Be aware. Only corrupted enemies will drop it. Mission complete. The captain has been escorted to the extraction point. Well done. The reactant is working on your relic.
It's me. I'm the heavy unit. What?
Enough reactant to open the relic.
What the shots for this thing were bounced? Yes, they don't.
Many things have been taken from us. It's true. But fortune favors the bold, and there ain't nothing so bold as people with nothing to lose. When the wine
Yeah, I
is plain
guess
as day,
Gauss would
the
be the
how
most
tends to
best
get
choice
calm.
in that line.
Another job well executed.
I'm gonna go grab my coffee now. I love coffee. So tasty. Let's go see. Arcane Furry.
We got
Give me that
as
silver
many
patate.
odds behind us as we do before us. But dreamers, we got this.
Mine stuff on Venus. And do 3 exterminates. Okay.
Ta-ta, lovelies.
Lovely jubbly. But you know what? That's what. Let's get the weaker magma chamber. Give it a boost, why not? I want to show you just how much of a piece of piss this is. I'm gonna aim my mic a little more towards me because I'm leaning back in my chair. There we go. Alright. So there you go. I can't see it, man. I'm blind. This is also how I generally do mining on Deimos, because actually trying on Deimos tends to be an actual headache. There's one. And come to these caves, because the caves tend to be loaded with ore veins. And again, you don't need to, like, do these good. You just need to do them. There's two. There's a creature in here somewhere. Oh, what? I don't know where they are. So, back to mining. I still need to buy the silencer upgrade for my drill. I just simply keep forgetting it exists. See how much slower that is? Actually trying like a nerd. Granted, if you see a bonus notch on these, you should probably go for those. Because they guaranteed have a rare, in quotation marks, gem, if you nail it. It's being squiffy. Can I even crack this? Because it seems weird. There we go. Piece of piss! Now we're going to radically skateboards our way. You want to see something fun? Did they nerf that? Used to be that you get launched by that. Is the race kit here? No. There's, this is one of the possible locations for the races. And I'm going to get these because you can get some nice stuff from these jars. Anyways, this is one of the possible locations for the race kit to spawn. He'll be like right here. And then the course is simply riding this pipe. Then coming off the pipe, going like right here. I believe you hit this, then you come over here. And then the last thing is coming off of that, which used to just blast you, like almost straight into Fortuna. It was insane. But that was how I did a majority of my vent kit farming. since races are the best way to farm vent kid standing. Tricks slowly give you vent kid standing. As you can see, it's like really pitifully tiny. And I will need to do vent kit stuff again for when I need to do my last few K-Drive mastery. For that sweet, sweet MR. Alright, what we got? Exterminate, kill, kill, kill. Okay. It's murder o'clock. There are no exterminate voids. Okay, let's try you. Why the hell do I have this? I think I was trying to get weapon. I don't think anyone's going to join. But I'm doing it anyways, just in case.
Their rage is vehement, their focus impressive. Give them all warriors down.
There are void fissures in the
I will give them worrying deaths, don't worry.
My intel suggests there are rich enemy supply caches in the area, but I am unable to pinpoint their exact location. Search them out if you are willing to shoulder the matter.
Oh, we did get someone.
Near a fissure, use that reactant to open the relic. Find it. Look for more reactant. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit.
Alright. Soup perform. I guess I really underestimate how many people actually do crack relics on Steel Path. And if you're wondering, is there a point to cracking relics on Steel Path other than Steel Path having a different set of relics available at a time? And the answer is yes, actually. It's not huge, but you do get a steel essence per relic crack in Steel Path. Which I appreciate, and I often forget it even exists. Good morrow, Wilderhund, how art thou today?
The enemy is broken. Well done. Now get to extraction.
Asteroids, because they're poo. Hey,
Marines inbound.
you okay, sleepy? Fair enough.
Valuable lesson.
purple lobster. I am middle of the road. Not too awful.
Watch out. I'm detecting void fissures nearby.
No real complaints. Just existing.
Suggests there are rich enemy supply caches in the area, but I am unable to pinpoint
I tried to try out Identity V
willing to shoulder.
yesterday, but they like want like Google or Facebook to play, and I'm like, no thanks. And like, I know I don't really use my Facebook at all these days. Like only boomers seem to do it anymore. HTV really hates the DVD community too. It's funny because Behavior helped develop that game. Tried to bully former DVD players out. Allegedly. To be fair, the DVD's community is notoriously toxic. And nobody wants to be associated with that. So they're probably like, yeah, we don't have that here, and we don't want it here. But to be fair, in my opinion, the devs tend to show their true colors through their own community. That's why DVD's community is so vile. Because the devs are too. You reap what you sow, as they say. Your ASIM? What ASIM? You holding out on me? I'd love to play Identity V if it got like a Steam release. Because from what I've seen, it looks decent. Not like the best thing ever, but it looks decent. I'd still prefer to play VHS.
The enemy is broken. Well done. Now get to extraction.
Oh, you're saying you'd be afraid of them mixing in? Yeah. NetEase has one advantage over Behavior in DVD, and that is the game is made by, I think it was either China or Korea. So the massive community of English speakers would just be ignored, which is where a majority of these entitled players are at.
Your will was greater. This is good.
Like, I say in full earnesty, I want VHS back. Like, I don't care if Hellbent republishes it or if they sell the rights to someone else. I want the game alive again.
The art of combat must be practiced to truly master the canvas of war.
And I've stated it on like somebody's video, I don't remember where. But like the first group of devs that actually humble themselves and take their game seriously are going to be the ones that will actually dethrone DBD. DBD may never die, technically, because of its licenses and just being around as long as it has been. But it being the king can be dethroned by someone actually doing the job right, because in like every single instance these games are like always killed by the devs themselves. Through one form or another. Like Gun, who do a lot of these licensed ASIMs, like Friday the 13th and now Halloween. They kind of make them with the intent of them being like one and done. They expect them to die within like a year of release, so that's as far as they will ever plan for them before they're moving on to the next license. But like these devs, they need to realize they can't achieve success by copying the successful. They have to better themselves than the successful. Because otherwise, why would people go to someone that's just the same? Especially when some of the biggest complaints people have are about how the people are at these companies. That's like when capitalism should be shining here, is you need to one-up your competition to earn your right to success. But they don't. They just do the dumbest decisions. Like VHS not listening to their like not listening to people unless they're like super positive for no real reason and not really productive. And then they took their time doing anything and but generally not being communicative. Like that's to me the thing I think I would say most got the game killed. It wasn't just the toxic positivity of the community. DBD has that, a lot of games have that. It wasn't just devs taking a little too long to do things. Which, again, DBD does that. I would say a lot of games do that, but no, it's mostly a DBD thing. Most other games tend to address problems pretty quickly. And not in overblown ways like Behavior likes to do. Oh, this perk is too strong! Let's nerf it and then nerf it again. Yeah, okay. I'm going to close this tab.
As you conquer the foe,
You have to settle for gun settling. Settling for gun release in a Halloween game. If it's cheap, I might give it a spin. But a game that only lasts a year, I'm not going to be putting too much coin into. If any.
Always a pleasure.
You need to murder more things. Friends. Normal. And Duvary. My beloved. Doesn't really matter what I grab. Bro, come on.
The fearful conspirator. Afraid to go outside and afraid to be shut in. Sybil lived a timorous life. Usually she was too scared to act.
Anyways, I'm just here to get quinoa sprouts.
Can I trust you? I have to. They're plotting against me. I need you to destroy them. Every single last one.
Saves you from having to do
Oh, I can't quite believe it. Kind of malevolent brain on something like this.
Put it there, nice. We can feed the maw over here, can't we? Yes, yes we can. Oh, enemies. Go kill them. I'm trying to get the thing that doubles resource gathering. There you go. As typical, I am good at beating them all. Alright. The speed boosting decree is pretty nuts. You get so fast pretty quickly. Yeah. Just keep looking for decrees. Oh, there's a puzzle nearby. That looks right. Now we just need to find where the orbs be. Huh? Ah, there we go. Thanks, game. Oh my goodness. Yo, thank you for the follow. Looks like you are follower 750. We are 3/4 the way to 1K, which is pretty dang neat. Welcome on in. I hope your Friday is going well. I seem sick. I am pretty sick. In the head. But thank you. Friday was great. Good. I guess I don't throw an orb into that one, do I? I don't think that was one of those. That one is. Wait. So then what one does this be? That? Yes. Okie dokie. I need an orb for this one. Don't want to get too far away. Yes, the look at emote, one of the newest ones. Sometimes silly ideas just pop into my head, and that is one of them. Is it down here? Is there a bush nearby? Because they usually hide them in bushes too. You enjoying the emotes, I take it? I tend to have a lot of fun doing them. Nice voice, thank you. I made it myself. What in the oil? Oh, I think I know. Yeah, it's been a bit since I've done these, so brain be crusty. There we go. Oh, I didn't get a scent apart. And here's the thing we've been looking for, bountiful harvest. Sound like Penguin Zero? You're not the first person to say that. I do not like the Comey minigame. That rat kicks my butt every time. I think I have won once. And now to harvest Canela sprouts. Sprouts. Is it Conla? Conia? I don't know. Cone. Oh, don't need to be sorry. It amuses me whenever I hear it. Look. I'm just generally a low energy person. Inflicting a status effect that restores HP, and I passively inflict status effects. So, free regen. Fart clouds. Finding a lot of chests and whatnot all together in one place. I accept the free loot. Yeah, I had the world record once upon a time. I think that was back in 2019. I was the first person to ever get underneath 30 minutes in the all time stones category. And I believe I'm still third place. I haven't played the game in years though. And I unofficially have top times in various individual levels for the bonus rounds. I say unofficially because some of those records were achieved offline, so I have no video evidence of showing how I did them, and I haven't topped those times either. Played Earthworm Jim, didn't like it, was too hard. Yeah, they purposely made the game hard because back in those days, developers were at odds with rental places like Best Buy. Was it Best Buy? No, it was Blockbuster. That's the one. So what they would do is they'd make like the first level or two easy enough for players to get into the game, and then they make the rest of the game excruciatingly difficult, so that if players wanted to get good enough at the game to beat it, they'd have to buy it. It was their credence at the time. Yeah, it is a very good game. It's all hand-drawn and then translated into sprites. If you can find Earthworm Jim Special Edition, which is like the PC version, not the DOSBox version, which is the one I have, but like the PC version, it actually shows they have like artwork of the sketches and stuff in the game, which is pretty cool. I'm sure you can find stuff online showing it off these days. The special edition also comes with a few new levels like Big Broody, which is this salamander that tries to eat you in a level. I also have the Genesis version of Earthworm Jim 1 as well, but my runs are on the DOSBox version because I really don't want to set up the capture card and all that to stream a console. Also, the DOSBox version is probably the shortest version. It doesn't have levels that are included in like any other version, other than like the stuff that's included in every version. Because there are some levels that are like exclusive to certain systems. Like the Genesis version has intestinal distress. The Super Nintendo version has Who Turned the Lights Out. And of course the CD version, aka Special Edition, has Big Broody. Played the first 3 levels, you don't know that much. That's fair. It is a hard game, so don't feel too bad. Yeah. I don't have enough to get the owl. Tragic.
Dungeon Island is all well and good. But what happens? There'll be other times.
What else we got? I will take that.
I wonder what you do about that.
More things. I have an abundance. Primary arcane adapter. I'm not trading you clamps for that. I suppose I'll take this.
Sympathy on City, not with her nasty little ways.
And that.
Barely scratch the surface of what she gets up to.
I'm trading you an abundance of resources for a temporary buff. Speedran some pretty good games. Spyro and DK Country. I do enjoy some good classics. You ever played Kirby's Adventure? It is the second game in the series. And the first one where Kirby gets copy abilities. It's pretty fun. There was a GBA remake called Nightmare in Dreamland, which was also pretty good in its own right. And also included the first instance of Meta Knight being playable. Psychonauts. I highly recommend Psychonauts. It's on, like, Steam and probably other platforms. I don't know if it's on GOG. I would not be surprised if it's on Epic. It's definitely on Itch. So, got your platforms of choice. It is a really good game, and it's got that 2000s style dark humor. Not like how people like to go, oh, edgy humor is being racist. No, it's edgy humor in the sense of there are dark themes that it's presenting in a comical fashion that still has the impact of what needs to be said. That one should be it. Give me my orb. Okay. And then we throw the last one into here. Come on, Cinta, whatever part I need. This is only one part I'm missing. I don't remember what it is. I have to look at my checklist. Cinta upper limb, is that the one? Oh, I closed my checklist. I don't know, because apparently I didn't write it down like a goob! ever played Warframe? It is a free-to-play game on most platforms. Even Switch. It's an enjoyable game. It's the kind of game that you tend to like turn your brain off to. Like if you ever played a game like Dynasty Warriors, where you're just killing endless swaths of enemies, it's sort of like that. This is Duviri, which is a bit of an exception to that, which is slower paced. Although still kind of chill. I'm mostly just here because I need some materials, specifically in this water area, in order to build a weapon part. Kill everybody, Jenner. Yep. These conla sprouts are the things I'm after. I should have harvested most of these. So, may be time for me to do a mission so that it saves my progress and then exit.
Oh look, I think I see a poor sick little animal who needs our help. Such a sweet kitty. Best not give her cause to show her claws.
Oh, let me. Why is it not letting me?
These precious ones are ever so delicate.
Don't want to kill it. Why is it not letting me do the thing? That is the thing about the game. It can be a little buggy at times. But to be fair, the game is like, let's see, it came out in 2013, so it's like a little over 12 years old. And still getting updates to this day. They're making a new game soon. I don't know if it's set in the same world at like a different time or what, but the game's called Warframe. It's currently in closed beta. But from what I've seen, it's like if they mixed Warframe with Dark Souls. Leave Duviri. Friends old and still updated, can't complain. The nice thing about Warframe, you can do everything in the game free. You do have the option of just like straight up buying stuff if you really can't be bothered with farming things. But part of the charm of the game is the farm. Is it where? It was the part I needed! Yes! Get this potato cooking. And yes, we got enough canola. Nice! Okie dokie. Oh wait, I still have another part I need. Lower limb. Let me write that on my thing so I don't forget. Lower limb. Ow, business. Owie.
pelted me out with a coin.
Yeah, I have like a note. Well, it's a notepad document where I have everything I haven't acquired yet on a list. Because the way you level up in this game is by maxing out the levels of equipment. And also clearing mission nodes. But of course I've already done all that. I'm currently in prestige ranks. Which are called legendaries. The main game, it's called Mastery Rank, otherwise known as MR. But once you've got to essentially level 31, that's Legendary Rank, so LR, or just L for shorter. Yeah, this is what the gameplay normally is, cutting through swaths of enemies. And so I need to go down here. And this mission specifically is Exterminate, which is just kill the target amount that's on the left side. The character I'm playing as is my main character. It's Grendel Prime, which is the upgraded version of the frame called Grendel. And frames are basically characters. Have you ever considered that you're the bad guy in this situation? Well, to be fair, you have hyper-capitalists versus clones that are hell-bent on violent domination and extermination of anyone that isn't them. And then there's us, who's basically a paid mercenary. So, in a roundabout way, kinda, yeah. Just because we are good guys does not mean we are good guys. With that said, the player faction is one of the more neutral factions. Clone Wars. Kind of. The two factions in this mission, the Corpus and the Grenier. The Grenier are a clone army. They were originally created to be slaves to essentially space Romans called the Orokin. But eventually they were kind of set free in a way, but are under the command of what used to be the Twin Queens.
Excellent work, Tenno.
There's nothing going with the Clone Wars. Well, they are clones that war with things, so it's close enough. The player faction are the Tenno, which are basically space ninjas with magic space powers. Grendel here has the ability to inhale enemies, spit them out, and also roll up in a ball. There are... We must be getting close to 60 different characters by this point.
This is a mobile defense mission. You must deliver payload.
Sounds lore dense. It really is, especially since it's been around for so long. This also isn't the first game in this series universe either. This game is preceded by Dark Sector, which is also on Steam. That one isn't a free game, but it is like a single-player game. So this was basically the MMO version of Dark Sector, as far as I'm aware. I haven't played the game myself yet. I don't own it, but I do kind of want to do it someday. Plus, there's like numerous comics and stuff, and so much lore that isn't even inside the game itself.
Still working on it. Continue to
It's quite wild. Thankfully, you don't need to understand and know all of it to enjoy the game. This mission type is called Mobile Defense. We essentially have like these little computers that we have to like put a little hard drive into, and then we defend it for like a minute or so.
This will only get more difficult.
And make sure it doesn't get destroyed by the enemies. We gotta do that a few times.
Drop me in and
Most of the time it's 3, sometimes it's 2 things that we gotta guard.
no way. It's the veneer. I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment.
What do I think of the story? Ah, it's interesting enough to keep me hooked, I guess. The current arc sees us going against an eldritch embodiment of nihilism. So, you know, a typical RPG story. As we jump through time. Yeah, but basically this entity known as the Man in the Wall basically wants everything to become nothing.
Here is a terminal. Get me in and get ready to defend.
And like the thing they're like hinting at is like he's never known love, and he wants no one else to have it, or something like that. You hate nihilism? I do too. It's pretty stinking thinking, in my opinion.
Still working on it. Continue to defend.
Yeah.
Stay focused.
I don't know how much you're interested in me spoiling things, so I won't say too much, because crazy things happen in the story. And the story missions can be quite deep
The odds were against
in how much there is to them.
mission complete.
Oh, you don't care? Okay, so in one of the biggest quests, there's like a huge war between the Tenno, a Corpus, Grenier, and these things known as sentients, which are bio-organic machines that the Orcan made to essentially cultivate new planets across other galaxies. Slow down. But, the Tenno, the Corpus, the Grenier, and the Sentients. Sentients are
Stay focused. There's a heavy
like biomechanical
assassination contract.
things. Yeah, sentients.
Target will have a significant impact on enemy forces. Search the area. Leave no survivors.
You are nearing Krill's location. Proceed with caution.
Yep. The Orcan made them for the purpose of cultivating planets
Krill is the only chance for us
across the galaxies that have not been colonized yet, essentially. Because, just as a reminder, the Orcans were basically space Romans.
Krill is highly unpredictable. We suspect he may have other tricks up his sleeve. To survive this battle, we must strike hard and fast.
Yeah, they made them take over colonized planets, make like farms and stuff, agriculture.
Take them down.
Yeah, basically. Excuse us as we just absolutely rail on this boss. But yeah, the sentients, they stopped like caring to serve the Orcan. and the Tenno used to be underneath Orokin control. And so the Tenno were basically sent to exterminate the sentients and pushed them back to their world, which is called Tau. That's not very important, though. And that big war was them coming back to what is known as the Origin System, aka our solar system. The Tenno don't hate the sentients exactly as much as they were basically the violent slaves, assassins of the Orokin. Eventually, the Tenno did betray the Orokin and exterminated them. Or at least most of them. And now the Tenno are kind of their own faction. Everyone's doing stuff with the Orokin until they don't. Basically. Because, again, they were space Romans, they enslaved everyone. Yeah, most of them are dead. There's still a few around. Most of them are friendly. That you still see, at least. Like, you can go to the Necrolisk. And I can show you sort of what Orokins look like. I say sort of because these guys have been infected with, yes, another faction called the Infected, which is basically, you know, a disease, sort of fungus. Yeah, this is generally what they look like, big gray people. But this family they're friendly with the Tenno. They help guard essentially the core of all of Tenno's space magic. Not all of the surviving space Romans. They have the ability to transplant their mind into other bodies, which is another part of them subjugating the universe, was them essentially forcing people to sacrifice their beautiful and young and healthy people to them so that they can continue to live forever by essentially possessing people for eternity. But yeah, in the big war story quest, the player character gets killed. But then the adult version of the player character, because the Tenno are all children, they're immortal children, eternally youthful essentially. So when adult you comes along, it's a bit of a shock. But it's not exactly the same you. It's you from another timeline, where instead of getting space magic, you were left to fend for yourself on this spaceship called the Zariman, which is where the Tenno came from. Time travel. We're getting to the time travel. This is more like parallel worlds sort of things. So, in this timeline, which is where the magic space children came from, the Tenno, they basically made a pact with the man in the wall, which is, you know, like a space demon, to get the ability to survive being trapped in the void, which is like the place between places. The ship is called the Zariman. This is the ship. Essentially, it got trapped in the void, which you can see here, which is basically a place between dimensions. And in this timeline, this is the one where the space children were accepted the help of the man in the wall, which essentially took on the look of the people, well, the kids that were stuck there, but had, like, white eyes, essentially. And he's obviously creepy, but of course the kids didn't really have anything else they could do. Is that or potentially die, because all of the adults went mad and were just killing each other and whatnot. Because the void is a very dangerous place. Yeah, he helps them out, but he reminds the player that you owe him. And so that's there. The other timeline is the one where the kids didn't get help from the man in the wall, and a lot of them died, but the one that survives in the void by creating Duviri unconsciously. Because the void gives, like, it conjures things based on strong emotion. And so your character grows up in Duviri. And eventually they want to leave, but the king of Duviri didn't like that, and so he executes you, and then resets time, and does that every single day for thousands of years, until one day you can escape, finally. It's not quite explained what happened exactly. Something fell between the worlds that helped you break out. It basically changed everything. And that's the guy that escapes and comes to this timeline. No. Wasn't it Nata's hand? Yeah, I'm not sure how Nata's hand got there. Yeah, you got the Drifter here. This is what mine looks like, but... he comes to this timeline because the sentience sort of won the war. You can recap, yeah. Romans were the bad guys, yes. And the Tenno were the good guys. Yep. Since when we kill the Tenno, because that's what the Romans wanted. The Romans wanted the Tenno to kill the Sentients, and they returned to seek revenge. Yeah, you got reverse, but that's okay. No, the Tenno got space magic from the Man in the Wall. The time travel, it came from the Drifter. The adult version from the other timeline. Yeah, the adults go crazy, and that's when the timeline splits. In one timeline, the kids get space magic, and the other timeline is where you get stuck in the void. It's the Kingdom of Duviri. Yep. Bit of an asshole. He's basically an emotional child. Which is why he pitches a fit when you try to leave. Summons merge. It's more like your character, the Drifter, comes to this timeline by time travel shenanigans. Yeah, after the good timeline, he dies. And then... yeah, bad timeline you takes the place of the original. Then the war is over? Yeah, the war was over at that point. We won the sentience. And then sometime between you dying and the Drifter coming to this world, or timeline really, there's like this cult called the Narmer, which not a whole ton is known about them yet. It's just that when the Drifter arrives, they literally have mind control devices strapped to everyone. And you have to basically run around ripping the devices off of people and freeing the galaxy again. And the guy who is running the Narmer cult was an Orcan, who we then promptly kill. But then the Narmer cult is still around in remnants, and it's being ran by someone we don't yet know. The only person we see leading is one of the remaining sentients, called Pazul. And he is brainwashed by some unknown force. So even he is under the mind control. But at this point, the Narmer, they're around, but they're not a major force anymore, but more of like a nuisance that needs to be periodically put in place. Do you think it's going to end up happening? I have no idea. I'm sure there'll be some big thing where you find out something. It's probably going to be the next big storyline after the current one. Because right now we are in 1999. You can go to this decrepit mall and find Gordon Freeman. You hope Call's involved with the Narmer plant? Me too, as well as the other guy. I forget his name, the Corpus guy you get to play, because he hasn't got his own missions yet. And if you're wondering who Call is, he's a Grenier that... Good grief, he's naked! He's a Grenier that stopped following the Queens during the war, and instead chose to fight for the sake of his brothers. Yep, for his brothers. And so now there's like a small faction of Greniers that are allied with the Tenno. Not to be confused with like two other factions of rogue Greniers, but that's not important. But Call, you can play as him in special missions, and the missions are generally about you puzzle solving how to stealth around these places without getting caught, and freeing your brothers from the mind control until you can eventually defend yourselves against the what are they called? Deacons, I believe, of the cult. One is stealth, other two are more combat. Yeah, it mixes it up. You know, the deacons are horrible. If they spot you, they relentlessly pursue you and will slap a mind control device on you, which is instant death. For the game, that is. You would do reload to a checkpoint. Yeah. So, after the Drifter frees everyone... What am I doing right now? Well, I'm telling you the story so far to get up to why we're time traveling. The Drifter eventually manages to bring back the original timeline, Tenno, but only one of us in the game. I'm just sort of sitting here because I'm trying to focus on telling the story. Right now, I can just do whatever. Can even go into a mission. Why not? Only one version of you can exist in the universe at a time, though. And the other one has to go into, like, a little pocket dimension. The Drifter, that's the adult version of the Tenno.
Your job is to distract the enemy while a fellow Tenno operative raids the ship for much-needed supplies. Make your presence known. Void fishers, you need them to open a relic, but
And then...
they have just shut down all systems.
after that's all said and done,
More capsules your way.
you find that there's like a secret lab deep in Deimos, that planet we visited briefly so I could show you the Oricon. And in there you see that the man in the wall is trying to break through into this world. As parts of the lab are, like, really weird, where they're no longer in this corporeal realm, but are inside of this wasteland dimension.
Life support has been replenished.
And eventually you find out that the guy who made the lab managed to send himself back to 1999 because he was trying to escape the space demon and buy time to get things together to combat the space demon. But the space demon, being an eldritch entity, doesn't exactly follow the laws of nature. So it was able to follow him into the past. And so we, as the Drifter, figure out that we uniquely can go to the past as well, because of the strange things that happened with Duviri. Which is why the Drifter is also referred to as the Paradox. because of your ability to keep resetting time and doing things over and over again to change them to what you want it to go, essentially. And this power is shown when, after you go back to 1999, on New Year's Eve of that year, an atomic bomb gets dropped on the city that those missions take place in. And there's like a nuclear reactor meltdown and all sorts of crazy things happening, and everybody dies. But the Drifter doesn't like that. So he resets time. And now 1999 is stuck in this sort of permanent time loop until things can be figured out, essentially. And as the story goes so far, more and more people are being pulled into the time loop, slowly. And also, of course, there's another faction, well, two factions in 1999. Technically three, if you want to count the player allied faction.
Additional life support has arrived.
But the one that matters for what I'm going to talk... Oh, sounds like Ginger fucked up. Kind of. But again, he fixes it eventually. But story-wise, things are still going.
The operative has just made their first discovery. Keep up the good work. When needed, extraction is ready.
We're almost caught up to the story so far. The newest story bit is called Isle Weaver. That's the name of it. There's a general in the faction called the Scaldra. That's in 1999. She is the adopted daughter of some of the characters in the player faction.
Life support incoming.
And she went missing, which is strange because, of course, the Drifter's resetting time, so she shouldn't be missing. She should be there, but she isn't. And it turns out she was stolen by the man in the wall. Literally plucked out of time. And Isle Weaver, the newest story, is that she found Duviri and has taken it over. But she is possessed by the man in the wall. And of course we boot them out, and that's the story so far. I don't know when the next story event is going to be. It comes along every now and again. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Especially to try to catch up on. Let's see, what do we need to do? Hey, credits. I will take those.
Don't stop believing, dreamers.
Silver Potet.
Coming up.
The man in the wall is very bad. Actually, I don't have very many axes. So what do we want to do? Let me... You. How about you? I will take this. Ordinary office chair. Why? I have a folding chair in front of my TV. The joke is I'm making it look like a 20-year-old's bachelor apartment. So, you know, there's a TV in the game system, a cheap folding chair, and a drink on the ground in an otherwise barren place. Sometimes the man in the wall will be saying it. Ah. Does Minerva sell the ordinary office chair? The man in the wall is the main villain right now? Yep, of the current arc. Let me see if I can't show you a good look at the murmur.
The relic has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside.
It's a necromite. Yoink. Alright, here's one. And then they got zorched. Trying to see if I can't find...
Looks like you could
there's another Beetlejuice looking thing. It's hard to see with all the particle effects going on, but they're like things like hands crawling across the ground. They're like strange stone creatures that literally crawl out of cracks between dimensions. These are the labs, by the way, that I was talking about. See, there's this one that's like a pair of legs. Going to bed soon. Have a good snooze! And I appreciate the company. Thank you for stopping by and listening to me ramble on about game lore for like an hour and a half. I am a bit of a lore nerd. There's a reason why I had an honors in mythology. I just get really hooked on this kind of stuff. Am I into Warhammer at all? I'm going to say not really, but not in the sense of that I don't like it, but in the sense of I just simply haven't gotten too far into it. The only thing Warhammer I have ever touched was Space Hulk. Because, like, years ago, Space Hulk was a friend of mine's obsession, and we played some of it together. But that's the extent of my knowledge. Something I did like about it was how in single player, if you die, it's your character having a vision of what's going to happen, which I found pretty cool. Anything else I've really gotten into? Oh. In recent years, I suppose you could say Souls games. For, let's see, when did the Soul Steelbook collection come out? I think that was 2019? But, Necromix and K-Drives. I mean, I'd love to have a K-Drive IRL. I think it was around 2019. Game? Okay. But locked up there for a moment. A friend of mine showed me Demon Souls, and that was pretty neat. And then the Steelbook trilogy of Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 came out, and I got it on sale for, I think it was 20 or 40 bucks. And it's all three games complete package, DLCs included. And I really dug them. Except for Dark Souls 3. I am an outlier in that it's one of my least favorite Souls games. Though Night Rain has taken the spot for least favorite. It's not to say I hate it, but I do have complaints that thankfully Elden Ring addresses. Elden Ring is probably my most favorite Souls game. Yeah, and this is that stony dimension I was talking about. It's like a rocks and sand everywhere. And you can just look out. You started playing Dark Souls 3? I hope you have a grand time. Most people like the game. Like I said, I'm an outlier in that regard. The way I feel about 3 is that it's too linear. The thing I like about the other Souls games is that if you're struggling with a part, you can always go do another part and come back later. And you'll be, you know, a few levels stronger, maybe have better equipment to deal with the situation you're in. But in Dark Souls 3, you don't have that. You're mostly on a straight path. It's only like a couple instances where things split off. Also, the DLC bosses do way too much damage. 3 needs to be the easiest. I'd say probably 1. Maybe Demon Souls would be the easiest. The original, at least. I don't know what the remake's like. And I suppose the main story of 3 isn't that hard. There are a few bosses that are kind of a little BS, but at least in the main story you do get a lot of NPC summons in case you're struggling. Is it alright if you sleep to my stream? Go ahead. But we do tend to raid out at the end of our streams. So, just a heads up. Hopefully, whoever I send you to doesn't wake you up. Have a good lurk. Nighty night. Looking at the time, looks like we have about 20 more minutes before I end stream. As I need to clean the apartment. I got to vacuum. Do wipe down my kitchen because my stove's a little grimy right now. think I've ever seen this room. Don't know if it's new or I just never happened upon this tile before. Fisher. Trying to get these ground finishers so I can digivolve me scythe. Angst crawling in my skin. These wounds they will not heal.
That's it. Open the relic. Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside.
Yes, I'm forcing ground finishers by bullet jumping next to them. If it works, it works! Okay, I fell in the abyss. Die, monster, you don't belong in this world. We get too close to that. Get it? No! Gotcha. Very nice. Ground finisher? No! It's not a ground finisher. Why? Why, SpongeBob? Well, if they're just leaving, may as well. hopefully we can get into another survival. Pretty sure it's still around for another 15 minutes. And we got 9 more finishers to go. Still has a bit to go. I can't start pulling fishers from here. Not as far as I know, at least. Survival. Mittens, oh wow.
Each enemy is more powerful than before. Only with true mastery of the Tenno arsenal will you succeed.
Void fishers. You need them to open a relic, but are you confident you can withstand their fury?
Have compromised the habitation systems. How predictable. Stand by for life support.
No hacking minigame is as good as Nom.worm.
The enemies are dropping reactors. Don't forget the reactor. You need more to open that relic.
Darn it, kitty. Stop being so good. Yes, but she needs a new set of ground finishers. Six to go. Only one. Yes, we did it! The invincibilant.
Sending another capsule? Is that well treated?
Ravioli, ravioli, give me cascadioli. I'm thinking. I'll do a condition overload build for this weapon. This is one of the reasons why I love Grendel, just plowing through everything.
Looks like you could use a bit of life support.
Pinch. Ooh, a new note.
Look what this fish just caught. You keep fighting, and I'll keep fighting.
Yeah, I'm thinking a status overload with melee crescendo. Which only duplicates your hits on regular crits. So the only crit booster I will probably be having is the name of the mod is lost on me right now, but it's the one that increases your crit chance on combo multiplier. Missing something? I thought that was it. Just do the one computer. Maybe this one too. Weeping Wounds was the status one, which is also going to be equipped. Name a combination better than PB&J, that would be Condition Overload. Blood Rush, that's the name of the critical one. And of course Weeping Wounds. is good on pretty much all mods. Well, all weapons. Almost, at least. Glaives could benefit more from heavy attack-based modifications. I don't know how it works with Tennokai. I've never tried it thinking on it. I still only really have like the one Tennokai mod that isn't the plain flavorless one. Don't get. I also need to read to see how this thing's in form works. Other than the stat upgrades, there's like something about shards. I read it once this morning and then have promptly forgotten. Rough. X and I have been squished. Casual, few million HP.
That's it. You opened the relic. Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside.
As much as Precision Intensify may seem like a bit of a meme perk mod, for frames that use exclusively their 4, that is actually insanely good. For those who want to stack as much power as they can. Because the 4th abilities tend to be ultimates, which can be like the sole focus of certain frames. Triple exclamation marks. Feel me blood sugar's getting low. Well, we have 10 XMI left to kill.
I shall put this one on the pile. We're going to need a bigger center.
Psylocke. What form of prints I have? 47. This way. I'll probably be doing more stuff off camera. Thank you all for coming out today. /raid yummy goat. What? Okay. /raid hope dreams then. Anyway, thank y'all for coming, keeping me company, and all that jazz. Meow needs to feed, nom nom and all that.